Prepare to salivate. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 binging with Babish recipes you gotta watch. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we'll be breaking down the videos of YouTuber Andrew Ray, who hosts Binging with Babish, an online cooking show in which he recreates iconic film and TV recipes. Number 10. Rachel's Trifle from Friends.
Custard, good. Jam, good. Meat, good.
Whenever Friends tackled Thanksgiving, audiences could expect merry mishaps, quotable lines, and of course, food. Sometimes the culinary creations were appetizing, like the Moist Maker.
Her secret is she puts an extra slice of gravy-soaked bread in the middle.
But there's one we were nervous and curious to taste.
Then raspberries, more lady fingers, then beef sauteed with peas and onions.
Thankfully, Ray was up to the task of recreating Rachel Green's infamous trifle with complete faithfulness.
Custard, which, by the way, we made from scratch.
Spoiler alert, Ray's opinion of it isn't the same as Joey's.
So I can't do it. Had to spit it out.
As Andrew Ray usually does with simpler, and in this case gross, recipes, he attempts to make a more complex version. By using more savory flavors like cornbread to replace the sweet ingredients, the Binging with Babish version doesn't look half bad, and definitely doesn't taste like feet.
And to be honest, it doesn't taste awesome, but it's totally palatable, which makes it a damn sight better than Rachel's Trifle.
Number 9. Cocktail Special.
3 measures of Gordon's, 1 of vodka, half a measure of quinoa lily, shake it over rice, and then add a thin slice of lemon peel.
With his channel on the cusp of eclipsing 1 million subscribers, Ray decided to celebrate in the only way he knows how, with an episode dedicated to recreating some of film and television's most iconic cocktails, of course. The episode features 7 different drink recipes, from The Dude's White Russian to James Bond's Vesper Martini. This is the perfect video to watch next time you need a little inspiration for what to drink over the weekend.
But this ain't my first rodeo, and I'm sure I'm gonna be just fine tomorrow.
Of course, Ray also includes the recipe for Barney Stinson's Hangover Fixer Elixir, just in case you end up over-imbibing. Number 8. Strudel from Inglourious Basterds.
And slowly tug at the edges until it is thin enough that you can see the pattern of the tablecloth through the dough.
The strudel scene from Inglourious Basterds is quietly one of the film's best. Leave it to Tarantino to make dessert seem sinister.
2 strudels, un pour moi et un pour la demoiselle.
The scrumptious-looking strudel, ordered by psychopathic SS Colonel Hans Landa, is given ample screen time. More than enough for the dessert to warrant its own Binging with Babish episode.
You know you're dealing with an old-school recipe when one of the most important pieces of kitchen equipment you need is a tablecloth.
While Andrew Ray warns us that he's never made strudel before, the result is nevertheless totally mouthwatering. Of course, you can't have strudel without cream, and we all know how anal Landa is when it comes to waiting for the cream to arrive.
I highly recommend it as a centerpiece for your next dinner party or terrifying Nazi brunch.
Number 7. Room Service from Mad Men.
I mean, come on, dude. If you want to find the way to Christina Hendricks' heart, this is it, right here.
The quickest way to a woman's heart is through a lavish smorgasbord of room service delights. Or at least that's what Mad Men's Roger Sterling believes. He attempts to win Joan's affection through food, bragging about oysters Rockefeller, beef Wellington, and Napoleon cakes.
We leave this lunch alone, it'll take over Europe.
You'd be hard-pressed to whip any of those up without a little help from a pro chef. So it's a good thing the world's been blessed with this Binging with Babish episode, in which he recreates the aforementioned room service treats. The food in this video is over the top in its decadence, but that doesn't make it any less appetizing.
And hack yourself off a piece and revel in the 2,187 layers of butter in this Napoleon. I mean, technically, I didn't count them.
Number 6. Ratatouille or Confit Byaldi from Ratatouille. Ray's Confit Byaldi may not transport you to your childhood the way it did for Anton Ego, the sinister restaurant critic from 2007's Ratatouille, but it still looks, and probably tastes, delicious. The titular dish from this Pixar film is brought to life through a painstakingly tedious process that we're glad Andrew Ray did and not us.
And let's see if this is good enough to save a restaurant from an evil reviewer.
Okay, guys, first things first. Let's bring one Friday tea party.
Instead, we get to gawk at the results, something we highly recommend, and dream of the day when an anthropomorphic rat cooks us high-class French cuisine. Alas, we fear that day may never arrive. Number 5. Kevin's famous chili from The Office.
Everybody is going to get to know each other in the pot.
Listening to Kevin proudly recite his famous chili recipe, juxtaposed with images of him dropping the finished product all over the office floor, is one of the funniest opening segments in the show's history.
It's probably the thing I do best.
Well now, thanks to Binging with Babish, you too can make Kevin's famous chili.
And Kevin said to undercook the onions, so we're just going to sweat them a little bit before deglazing with a bottle of light lager.
The chili Ray makes looks tantalizingly good. And true to form, he doesn't cut any corners, eating the finished product off of a piece of carpet.
Tell me that is not the most delicious thing you've ever seen.
Still hankering for more office-themed food videos? Check out the Binging with Babish episode that recreates Michael Scott's infamous pretzel order.
Is there any way that you could do all of them?
You're welcome.
So I couldn't possibly eat this thing, but hey, at least it was halfway Instagrammable. And in the end, isn't that really all that matters?
Number 4, Jake's Perfect Sandwich from Adventure Time.
I was a little stunned by my first bite. It was a lot of flavors and textures.
You know why we love Binging with Babish? Because when a television show introduces a sandwich whose key ingredient is lobster sole, the YouTube channel finds a way to make it work. Of course, you'll have to watch the episode yourself to find out how Andrew Ray pulls this one off.
I would imagine that lobster sole is a pretty mellow lobster flavor, so to me that meant making lobster aioli, lobster solioli, lobster soli, whatever.
Jake's Perfect Sandwich is the perfect example of a film or TV recipe that looks a hell of a lot better once Binging with Babish is done with it.
And achieve maybe the greatest cross-section in the history of this show.
Seriously, we want to make this one ASAP. Now excuse us while we attempt to catch a bird. Number 3, Bob's Burger Special.
For folding our pastry around our precious paleo package.
For the Bob's Burger Special, Andrew Ray went all out, recreating 3 different burgers from the show, each more mouth-watering than the last. First up, he tackles the Baby You Can Chive My Car burger, and it's in a word spectacular.
Sorry.
Next, he makes the Bet It All on Black Garlic burger, a delectable treat that makes us want to call Ray up so that we can ask him to make one for us. Finally, Binging with Babish gives us the meat saya, beef tartare stuffed inside a burger Wellington. If the final shot of this episode doesn't make you subscribe to this channel, we don't know what will. Number 2, Szechuan sauce from Rick and Morty.
As a combination, way too much effort to practically make, but would I recommend it? Yeah, I would.
In the first episode of Season 3, Rick waxes poetic about the fabled McDonald's Szechuan sauce, an item that had been discontinued years earlier.
And now it's gone. This is the only place we're going to be able to try it is in my memory.
Rick, you're doing this bit while your brain is melting.
Well, thankfully, YouTube channels like this one exist. This Binging with Babish episode is devoted to recreating the iconic sauce, with Ray tackling 3 different recipes. Seeing as how he has no idea what the ingredients are, or what it's supposed to taste like, the final results are, well, varied. If you're hoping to make your own Szechuan sauce, you're in luck, because he made a follow-up video that's considerably more in-depth.
But that truly doesn't matter because we are here for sauce, which I'm very proud to say not only look but taste virtually identical.
Before we get to our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Until they precariously form a decorative tower on top of which we're going to place a single cocoa bean. Ron's-burger, on the other hand, meat, bun, done.
Turkey can never beat cow, Chris. Sorry.
And remember, it's not secretive to use pizza if you don't get a good cheese stretch.
Number 1, Krabby Patty from SpongeBob Squarepants.
I can't put a patty on a bun with lettuce, cheese, onions, tomatoes, ketchup, mustard, pickles, and top bun together in that order!
His most popular episode to date, Andrew Ray's recreation of the iconic Krabby Patty from SpongeBob Squarepants, is a thing of beauty, and one that you'll be dying to make for yourself as soon as the video ends.
Top bun, and there you have it, a Krabby Patty with the works. Even kind of looks like that one in the training video, right?
In true Binging with Babish fashion, the video goes above and beyond the Call of Duty, showing viewers how to make 2 versions of the Krabby Patty. The first is quite basic, whereas the second involves shaved dried fish, a food processor, and kosher salt. So yeah, slightly more difficult to pull off. But don't let that scare you. This is an awesome channel that's guaranteed to inspire you to take some culinary chances.
You guys know me, I don't clean my plate unless it's really, really good.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from MsMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.